Okay, hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be listing 10 things which I think you should do before playing Breath of the Wild 2. Sort of in a similar style to Rose's 10 things to do before you die lists that you can find. All of the options here have been chosen based on what we currently know about the game, so do bear in mind that some of them may be irrelevant in the future. However, even if they are, I'd still recommend doing all the stuff here anyway. 10. Beat Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is generally considered one of the best games of all time, with almost all around 10s on Metacritic. And although it isn't personally one of my favourite Zeldas, it's just hard to deny how good it is. That's beside the point I'm about to make though. The game also goes really well into Ganondorf, the King of Evil, and his backstory. In the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, we clearly see what looks to be Ganondorf's body being resurrected, so I feel that having played Ocarina of Time before Breath of the Wild 2, it would certainly help explain a lot about Ganondorf for those who don't know about him that much yet. Hell, even if you have played the game, there's no harm in just replaying it again. In fact, quite the opposite, it's a great game, so you know what, just go play Ocarina of Time. And everyone watching this, go play it. 9. Avoid spoilers. This choice will no doubt seem highly obvious, I guess you could say, to a lot of you. However, I want to put it in here anyway. Games almost always end up with content being leaked near launch, and the same happened with Breath of the Wild. In fact, said thing actually spoiled Breath of the Wild for me. I saw them and I didn't want to watch them, but I just couldn't help myself. I was too hyped about the game and I had nothing to do and I ended up watching it, you know? So I can confidently say that I enjoyed the areas of the game I didn't get leaked for me more than the ones I did, and if basically just try to avoid leaks or spoilers as much as you can because they do ruin the games a lot and it is very tempting to do them even if you yourself right now say you wouldn't, so just keep an eye out for it basically. 8. Beat Twilight Princess. This goes along the same lines as Ocarina of Time, and trust me, this is the last new Zelda game I'm going to ask you all to play. But the main reason I've chosen this one, higher than Ocarina of Time, is once again due to Ganondorf. We barely know anything about Breath of the Wild 2, so it makes sense that Ganondorf would come up for a lot of these. Anyway though, due to certain circumstances in Twilight Princess, which I won't spoil for you because a lot of you have played it, it's pretty damn likely that the Ganondorf in Twilight Princess is the one in Breath of the Wild 2, so of course that would make playing Twilight Princess very logical, a thing to do before Breath of the Wild 2, so go play Twilight Princess too, also a great game. Number 7. Read the timeline. Although playing through both Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess will help fill quite a hole in Zelda knowledge for those of you that have only played Breath of the Wild, there's a lot more to be learned. I simply picked those two because I find them to be the most likely to help for those of you that haven't played any of the Zeldas. However, there's a ton of other Zelda stuff. Overall, I'd recommend reading up on the whole timeline to help you prepare for the game. There's tons of YouTube videos on it, so you could find one of them. However, I'd also make sure to pick a recent one, since it's been updated a few times by Nintendo, and you want to read the accurate one, I guess. Or you could just play all the games. However, I know that's hard for a lot of you, so you don't have to. Number 6. Buy my merch. Yeah, this one's kind of self-explanatory. No, you don't have to. I just wanted to put this in here because I find it funny. Number 5. Look into the Zonai. Aside from Ganondorf, there's one main thing which we're all pretty sure on showing up in the sequel, and that's the Zonai. For those of you who don't know, the Zonai were a mysterious magic-wielding tribe who left lots of ruins around Hyrule and Breath of the Wild, and they just disappeared suddenly, no one knows how, and there's lots of stuff pointing towards them having a more prominent role in the sequel. However, that would require an entire video to discuss, and that's not the point of this video, so basically, go look into the Zonai, watch YouTube videos on them, explore their ruins in Breath of the Wild, maybe even get the Masterworks or Creating a Champion books and read about them in there, because they're discussed in there quite a bit. For those of you interested in actually exploring their ruins in the game, I'll put a map on the screen now showing which ruins are their ruins, so you can go and have a look. But yeah, the Zonai are definitely worth looking into. I can highly imagine them being in the sequel, or like, being prominent in the sequel, maybe not them themselves in the sequel. Number 4. Conceptualize stuff for a new game. This one's kinda different from the rest, but also deserving of its own spot if you ask me. Basically, conceptualizing stuff for a game can be a great way to both pass the time and also have some fun, just like, I don't know, draw a picture, think up of a new armor set or an enemy, anything really. You don't even need drawing skills, you could literally just write a paragraph about it. You don't even have to share it, although sharing stuff like this is generally better because, you know, it's more fun and other people get to read you great stuff that you put, but yeah, some ideas for this could be dungeons or armor, enemies, even bosses. It's just a fun thing to do and it can be a great way to pass the time waiting till the game. Number 3. Take a break from Breath of the Wild. This might seem a bit of an odd choice here, but let me explain. Basically, don't play Breath of the Wild for a while before the new game comes out. My reasoning here? Breath of the Wild is an amazing game. However, it's even more amazing the first time you play it. Mainly because you don't know what the hell you're doing or what's going on. So, although it's impossible to replicate that experience now, I do find that if you just wait a while, don't play the game for ages, and then play it when play the sequel when that comes out, you'll have a much greater time than if you had been playing Breath of the Wild a ton right before the sequel. If you get what I mean. Like, you won't be used to the gameplay, you'll have forgotten half the stuff, and it'll just make the sequel a lot more fun. In fact, I can probably recommend some other games to play in the meantime. I'll start with my second favourite Switch game, Hollow Knight. I could go really far in depth into why I like it, and that's probably a different video to be honest, because otherwise it would make this video last forever, so I won't do that. However, instead, I'll give you this. I like it enough that right now, right here, I'm going to give away 2 copies of the game for free. You don't even have to be subscribed to the channel. You can give the giveaway to your friends to enter too. I'll put a link in the description for that, but yeah, I really like the game, and it's cheap, so may as well give away 2 copies of it to further spread it to more people, I guess. But yeah, I really recommend the game. Regardless though, there's tons of games you can play, and not playing Breath of the Wild was the main point there. Number 2. Beat Breath of the Wild. You might be like, hey, this directly contrasts with the thing you just said. You'd be right, however by beat Breath of the Wild, I don't mean play the game fully. Just load up your main save, go to Calamity Ganon and fight him. Don't do this anytime though, do this right before playing the sequel. I think this would be important because it would put you right at the ending of the game, where it leaves off, and you would have it in your head what's happened, you would feel like you've just done it yourself, so that when you pick up the sequel, you will feel like, oh, I just defeated Calamity Ganon. Oh, now I'm doing whatever you do in the sequel. And it would flow very well. However, I say don't play the whole game and just pick up your old one, because it goes back to the point I just made. You don't want to be too used to the game, otherwise it'll make the sequel feel less fun, you know? Or maybe not less fun, but it'll feel more fun if you haven't played the original in a while, I guess. Or if you really want to have not played it in a while, don't beat Breath of the Wild. Just watch someone else beat it on YouTube and watch through the ending. That would be a weird one to do though. I'd just beat it if I were you. Anyway, number 1. Watch the trailers. Now, I do find my last point to be a bit anticlimactic here for this kind of video, but also at the same time, very important. Both now, but also before the game itself releases, I recommend rewatching the trailers in order. I'm saying the trailers because I'm presuming there'll be more in the future, but if there's only one, just watch the one we've already had. Anyway though, I recommend this because, well, it'll put you in the right mindset, wondering, oh, I saw this in the trailer. What does this mean? Am I going to find out now? You know, whilst you play the game, and it'd get you real interested in the game before you've even started playing it, but it'd also give you a vague kind of idea of what to expect, which is always good. Except at the same time without spoiling you, because, well, Nintendo aren't going to shove spoilers in a trailer, that would be kind of stupid of them. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments, and oh, also, anything you think that I missed, which I should have included here. I'm genuinely interested in knowing, because it took me quite a lot of effort just to think of these 10 points alone, and people on my Discord server couldn't help much either, so I would really want to know if there's anything you feel I could have included. But aside from that, also once again, that Hollow Knight giveaway, I'm giving away 2 copies of the game for free. It's a great game, I want lots of people to play it. Not sponsored or anything, just, yeah, I'll put that out there. And thank you all for watching, see you in the next one, bye!